everyone, and welcome to Unleash the Geek, the show about gaming, movies, TV, tech, pop culture, and everything that's cool about being a geek. I'm Jamie Way, and I'll be your guide on this journey through the magical, mystical, and sometimes dangerous world of geek culture. So you ready, Wagga? Strap yourselves in. We talk about the latest tech developments, catching up with our roving reporter in the field, Rob Lloyd, and we delve back in time and revisit the Jurassic Park movie series. This week, we spent some time checking out some of the amazing new gadgets being developed by the world's coolest aspiring techno wizards, guys who spend far too much time in their basements dreaming up clever ideas, like the Print. This incredibly simple yet useful bit of gear transforms your smartphone into a postmodern Polaroid, printing out your snaps in just a few seconds. No more visits to the department store with the USB stick in hand. Print does all the work for you. It works with almost all iOS and Android phones and looks pretty lightweight yet sturdy considering the job it's doing, and apparently comes in an amazing array of colours. This little beauty of a gadget is roaring up the charts on Kickstarter, having already raised over $1 million, so expect to see the Print available sometime around November 2015. This next gadget is a 21st century solution to an age-old problem. Are you always losing your keys or forgetting the combination to your bike lock? With NoKey, these days are long gone. NoKey is a slick-looking padlock that pairs with your smartphone, and using the magic of Bluetooth will only open when you want it to.
By using your smartphone and the NoKey, you can effortlessly protect your belongings and go.
The cool little thing about this guy is that he does all the work. Just press the button and he'll scan for your phone, and when he finds it and the corresponding code, bam, you're in business. The app even works on Windows phones, so all you non-conformists can keep your precious stuff safe too. Your NoKey will even tell you when its battery's running low.
What if your phone dies or is not with you? We thought of that too. By incorporating our quick click technology, you can create your own access code to use when your smartphone is unavailable.
Another Kickstarter superstar, NoKeys are expected to be on sale June 2015. Our last two gadgets on this week's list are designed to get you on the move. First up, meet the IoHawk, the world's first smart skateboard. It's designed to look like a skateboard but ride like a Segway, and while early adopters say it takes a bit of getting used to, once you're up and going, it's pretty cool. John Soyberton, CEO of developer Smart Wheels, says, quote, "It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to learn. I was shaking like crazy when I started, but eventually got the hang of it." So pretty much the same as the skateboards we all had as kids. Almost. The IoHawk currently costs $1,800, so you'd better start saving. At the other end of the scale and wrapping up our segment this week is this beautiful beast. I present to you the Mercedes-Benz F015 self-driving car. Mercedes are now starting to get very heavily involved in the self-drive movement, and with this prototype, they're well and truly throwing down the gauntlet to their competitors. The F015 has a full suite of radar, motion sensor and camera systems. It features seats that rotate 180 degrees mid-ride and control software that you run on, yeah, you guessed it, your smartphone. This vehicle in its current form is so advanced that Mercedes haven't even dreamt up a price tag yet, but they still have some time, with the first models not expected to hit the streets until 2030. Time now to check in with our reporter in the field, Rob Lloyd, for another cool pop culture interview.
Welcome to the Connors, and we are here with Grant Imahara from Mythbusters. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Now, an engineer, trained engineer, who worked for Industrial Light and Magic. Please tell us about working for Industrial Light and Magic, please. Please, Grant.
You know, I worked in the model shop, and it was a dream come true because growing up in the 70s and 80s, all the major special effects films were ILM model shop, and finally getting to work with people who worked on the original Star Wars was a dream come true. I mean, it was incredible. We worked in all these small teams of people who had a diverse number of talents, people who were like painters and sculptors, and I always had the feeling that we could make absolutely anything.
Now, so did you get designs from other people, or did you have a freedom to create your own creatures or ships or whatever ideas? Was there a creativity there for you?
It's both, because the main concept artwork comes from the art department. In the case of Star Wars, it was Doug Chang.
Yes.
And so he would provide us with kind of a basic roadmap, and it was up to us to fill in the rest. Like,
Right.
what exactly will these details look like? And so it was both something where you had inspiration, but could also make your own contributions.
Now, I've seen in some of the docos from episode 1, especially with, the Lord High Master himself, George Lucas, coming in and looking at hundreds of models that you've been made, and he'd walk in and just go, that head on that body and this and this and that. Yep. How was that experience for you, sitting there and one man being able to go, there, combine it?
In the model shop, by the time those decisions come down to us, they're already done. But I had a number of friends who worked in the art department, and it was, from what I gathered, every week it's a very stressful cycle.
I bet.
Because you are coming up with all these concepts and models and drawings, and there's that moment where, and George isn't there the entire time, but there's that final approval moment where he comes in, just as you said, it's this, and that was incredibly stressful for them, but, all I can say is, thank goodness they took care of it before us.
You dodged the bullet for that one.
We did.
Now, you did work on the Star Wars Mythbusters one. That must have been a highlight, the show, the movies that you worked on, and then actually getting to bust some of the myths, but also prove some of them actually are possible. How was combining the show that you were doing with the love of the past?
I never thought that we would do a Star Wars special, just because, Mythbuster was so grounded in this physical world. Yeah. But when I heard that we had the opportunity to do that, it's like, your excitement levels go through the roof. I think when you look at people who are on the cast, Adam and I are the two biggest geeks there. And I think we might be equal, if not, maybe I might be a little bit geekier than him.
Well, that's incredible. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Grant, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
You're watching The Conast.
With Jurassic World hitting theatres soon, what better time to reflect on the classic Jurassic Park series? But we aren't going to talk about the original Steven Spielberg movie, because what else can be said? The raptor chase through the kitchen, the stampede, and who can forget that terrifying scene of the T-Rex ripping the Forward Explorer apart? Such a classic movie. Instead, I want to give attention to the sequel, The Lost World. This movie had a very mixed reaction, some viewing it as an okay sequel, whilst others viewing it as a terrible piece of garbage. Quoting Variety magazine's Leonard Vlady, the dinosaur creations are even better than those in the first film. Incredible, breathtaking, and frightening. As for the rest, every department pales by comparison. So where do I stand? Well, I think this movie is fantastic. I mean, sure, it does lack some of the qualities of the first movie, but it's still a fun popcorn action-packed flick. The special effects are still impressive, and the action scenes are very well shot. I especially love the attack on the dangling RV, or the scene in which the T-Rex charges through the downtown San Diego, with a nice little nod to Godzilla when some Japanese tourists are running down the street and their dialogue translates to, "I left Japan to get away from this." The actors do a fine job. Jeff Goldblum was great in the 80s version of The Fly, and he's always great in his roles. His level of sarcasm is always funny. Audiences did feel this movie was dark and mean-spirited, and I suppose they are not entirely wrong, as a young girl is attacked in the opening scene, but only injured, and some scenes do play out like a horror movie, for example, when the character Dieter is stalked by compies. But if you are willing to forgive those problems and just have fun with the movie's action, suspense, and adventure, then The Lost World definitely deserves a second, third, and even fourth viewing. And let's hope that Jurassic World is just as awesome.
We have learned more in the past decade from genetics than a century of digging up bones. A whole new frontier has opened up. We have our first genetically modified hybrid.
We just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea. Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out?
Depends.
On what?
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab. Evacuate the island. She's a highly intelligent animal. She will kill anything that moves.
Oh, God.
That's all we have time for. Don't forget to check out all our other shows on wagawagga.tv, follow us on Facebook, or email in your favourite old cool movie and we might just do a review on it. This is Jamie Way, signing off.